the morning, grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm. Let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to Maga Minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks talking southern things. Front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hum Day News, we keep it real with down-home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth. And when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just southern folks talking southern things. Stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time. So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand? So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand?
Hey folks, Dave in the AM here with the Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. For many weeks now, me and Rob have been telling you about our affiliation with Dubby Energy Drinks. I've been drinking some of them on the show, and I just got in today the powder version, and this is the Pond Blom version of this. And hey, I tell you that it gives you the focus and the energy without the jitters or the crash. There's no sugars, no fillers, no artificial dyes. So get you some Dubby today. Use the promo code Southern Fried, and you'll get 10% off each and every order. Not only can you get the energy drinks, but you can also get some cool merch items. In fact, soon we're going to have a hat to show you as an example of some of those things. There's shirts and other things you can get as well as containers to mix up the powder and the water into that you can carry with you. We appreciate your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and also of Dubby Energy Drinks. We'll see you again soon. Take care. And hello on a Friday night, Front Porch Talkin', trying to get everything situated. Hello, Mr. Barry, and also an Instagram, Gas Mask. I love that name. And ENZ Arena. I hope I said that right. And anybody else that's in here that I can't see your name, I feel like I'm in a 747 I've got controls everywhere. I have different streams. We're trying. This is on the second time that, or maybe third time that we've went into the many streams as we have, and a couple of them are very new. And I'm trying to make sure I do it right. I'm learning things on the go. That's me, Dave, old knucklehead, trying to learn things, and it's trial and error, baby, trial and error. Shout out to Half Pine Forge. I was watching some of his live deep in the heart of the shop in the forge. I try to join him for the first hour or so, a little less usually. I try to listen up close to him. We go on. Unfortunately, he had trouble tonight, and y'all pray for him. He, he, I feel his pain. I know what it's like to have all these. You think you got something and you don't, and technology's great until it's not. But when it works, it is absolutely awesome. Rob won't be with us tonight. Family. Thank you, Barry. Right on time. Rob has family that has came in, and he didn't. He originally was going to bring them on the show tonight, as he did last time. They're a great guest, but I think I don't know. He should have just set it up around the bonfire. They were going to do a bonfire, and apparently they're going to get rain tomorrow night. So he wanted to. It'd been cool to have the bonfire going in the background, even if he just turns his sound down and just has a camera on the bonfire. That would have been a cool co-host to have bonfire going on one side and me on the other. I'm gonna have to tell him about that. So won't be with us tonight, though. Who knows? He could check in. He certainly has access and can come on stage at any time, or he could just listen in, or he could just take the night and enjoy family, and that's fine too. We do a lot of recording here, and we're not complaining, but every once in a while, either due to sickness, work, or family, not in those orders, that order, but we do miss. I think I've missed maybe 3 shows, throw in technology, although I was working behind the scenes. Whenever I had some problems with technology, I just went behind the scenes and worked chats and, try to be a support. I'm not going to take my lunch pill and go to the house. It's frustrating when it's like that. It actually makes you angry, but you just got to roll with it. Things happen, and you vow you're going to make it better. But it is good to be here. We're going to have a little fun tonight. We try to, and we're going to talk a little bit. I've got a few slides I want to pull up here in a few minutes. I'm not going to do it right away. And we're going to look at some facial expressions of some politicians on both sides of the aisle. And some are new pictures, some are older pictures. I just grabbed the ones that interested me. And feel free to throw into the chat what you think that they're thinking about. So it ought to be fun, if not entertaining. So thanks for being here on your Friday and giving us some of your time. Time is precious, and we appreciate it. We are always amazed that people want to spend time with us, but we're very thankful. It is absolutely a blessing to us that somebody finds some kind of something, if it's just a laugh at us. I mean, there's that too. I mean, I'm okay with it. You ever go people watching? You like to do that. I love to do that. I mean, I try not to judge anybody or nothing like that, but sometimes it's just fun to go people watch, and you see all kinds of stuff. I figured that people jump from stream to stream sometimes, and they just look at what's these people talking about tonight. They call it making the rounds. I've done that. Especially late at night. That was always it's later than this. This is a prime time for a lot of streams to be on, but when you get into that midnight hour and later, there's very, very few. So you start picking up some people that are usually, and they could be all over the world, but at any time. But we, I would do that. I would go into live streams. Sometimes I didn't even care for the content. It was just like they kept me awake because it wasn't recorded, and I could chat with them and, say hey or whatever. And if I was doing security, it was just nice to have, that 2 to 4 stretch is very, very tough. I mean, I never got, probably more like 3 to 5, 2 to 4, 2 not too bad, but around 3 o'clock in the morning, I was just dragging. So about 3 to 5, and then you get into the little morning, you get a second, you get your extra wind, extra boost. and you kind of go on. But I'd go in these streams and I would talk to them, and that's where I started watching a lot of crime, crime podcasts, solving crimes, or talking about them anyway. And I still check in with some of those folks even today. I tried to get one to come on our podcast. He does a lot of short videos. Like he doesn't do more than about 30 minutes. That's actually a long time for him. He's more like 10 to 12 minutes max. But he would do like a half an hour. And I was trying to get him to come on, and maybe he didn't see it. I need to reach back out to him. I'd like to just share what he's doing up in Tennessee with different things. I like him. But anyway, yeah, you bounce around to different streams. You see what's going on. So sometimes people are doing that. And they're like, what's this about in here? I mean, what y'all talking about? What are y'all all about? Southern Fried. What's that? I always have a hard time summing it up. People ask me all the time, what do y'all do? What's your theme? I said, we're all over the place. We fought with that for months. And so we narrowed it down to conservative, Christian, and Southern, or in any order you want to put that. And with a tagline, from the silly to the serious. And that really sums up a little bit of what we do. The third one was early on. We had the tagline, talking Southern things, or all things Southern, but that really didn't describe us either, because we talk about stuff around the world even. So I don't know, what do? We get on here and talk and goof off and talk serious sometimes in others. I was going to say, I was looking up statistics on one of the streams, and every one of them's a little bit different. And I was looking at, it was either I think it was Podbean, which is an audio. And I do have that up right now. I don't think anybody's in there. If they're in there, hello. I don't think so. Hello. So welcome to Podbean. I love the platform, and it's a platform that sends our audios out to a lot of audios, like maybe 10 to 12. I'm sorry if there's a little thing going on with the screen. I think it's just that I'm on so many streams. So every once in a while, if you get a little blip, that's what it is. I believe, but maybe I probably need to reboot my system, but I got so many things going on right now, I'm not touching nothing. So, unless I just have to. Okay, before I tell my statistics here, Jake says, what do you think about Lex Luger going into the WWE Hall of Fame? Well, I hadn't heard about it, but I suppose, not being the wrestling super fan, although I know enough just to get in trouble. And I'm old enough to go way back and talk about it. I would assume that he deserves it. What do you think, Jake? Do you think he should go into the WWE Hall of Fame? I mean, he's been around a long time. Does he still wrestle? I really honestly, I don't know. I hadn't paid attention. I guarded one time for a wrestling event. Got to see, what's the guy? Oh man, I always forget this dude's name. The big tall dude, big something. What is his name? Everybody's a wrestling fan. Know who I'm talking about. 7 foot tall or something. His knees kill him. I'm telling you, I could tell. A man knows when another man's knees are killing him, and I could absolutely tell that his knees were killing him after that show that night. He had them wrapped up and ice on them, and that's a lot of weight coming down on older body jumping around like that. But I guess it's okay, man. I guess it's okay, going in there. But anyway, I was going to tell you about the statistics of and it's not a ton of people yet. We haven't grown there that much, but we have had I don't know, a few hundred to stop by over the course we were there, and so anyway, our three biggest and it's not a ton of people, you understand, but our three biggest nations that we stream to, or that people that listen to us, is of course the United States, India of all places, and Israel. What an eclectic mix. Yeah, all alone to die. Well, not really alone because I have y'all, but I am alone tonight. Mr. Sherbert, glad to have you here. Jake says, I thought he wasn't allowed to go in the Hall of Fame because the stuff happened with Miss Elizabeth. But it was under Vince's rules, not Triple H's rules, and Triple H is a good person. Triple H has saw what Lex is doing with DDP Diamond House Page, and I understand he should go to the Hall of Fame. I'm a big Luger fan. Well, that was a lot of information. Thank you, Jake. I look at wrestling. It's kind of like I don't take this the wrong way. It's kind of like a soap opera on TV. be that daytime or nighttime. And you could change the rules. You could change the rules anytime you want. And it's okay. So you could change the rules with him not being allowed in to be allowed in. I mean, that's the nature of wrestling, right? That they change the rules. You're a good guy, you're a bad guy. You're this or you're that. One of the biggest things that ever happened in all of TV, and you got to be a little bit older like me to remember it, was they absolutely really butchered the storyline to do it, but it was too big for them not to do it. Is the Dallas TV show huge, right? About 1977 to up around 91 or something like that. They were on about 14 years, I think. Then the other series and movies and blah blah blah. But they killed off the character Bobby, and Bobby was dead in a doornail for a whole year. He was dead. And then in this following season, they open up with him being back. And they decide, because they can do that, writers said, well, we'll just make the whole last season a dream. It's, reruns do not work well for that, because that whole season is lost. They had some pretty good storylines going about, special needs kids and all this stuff. And at the start of the new season, totally wiped it out. No, we're not going to have that. He wasn't really dead. He was just sleeping. She was sleeping. His wife, or soon to be new wife again. And hey Lewis, they wanted to bring back. Hold on, Jay. They They wanted to bring back Bobby. Well, really, what happened is that the character Jr., obviously a legend in TV and deceased now, wanted him back. And so he goes to him and he appeals to him that he's got to come back. It's just not the same without him. So he's like, well, how are we going to do that? To kill me off? And he said, I'm paraphrasing, but basically what I just said. Come on, it's TV. We can do what we want. I mean, you're never really dead. I mean, you could come up with something. And that's what they did. So I'm just saying that, Jake, they could do that with that. So but, I guess that's good for you. It goes in the Hall of Fame. And there you go. I have forever and a day. I may just have to do it on my own. It's not a Rob dig or nothing. He's the wrestler in the crowd. But I said, we need to have a wrestling show. He's got friends that wrestle. He wrestled with. There's a lot of wrestling fans. Jake's a wrestling fan. And I want to have a wrestling show. And it's just never happened. I think I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And I'll just pop in one night and just have everything ready to go. And it'll be wrestling fan. Asher's a huge fan of wrestling. Who is Asher's favorite wrestler or wrestlers, if you know? And by the way, there's Lewis. Lewis, are you a wrestling fan? A wrestling fan? And he is a wrestling fan. Okay. So y'all give me your wrestling fans. We'll talk about this for a few minutes, and I'm going to go to these crazy politician faces, and we'll see what happens there. Of course, on Podbean, if you come in, you will not be able to see that, but I can describe a little who we're talking about anyway. And I need to see if there's a way to show the after show pictures up there on the. I guess I could just link it to it. I don't really know, but he's mentioned CM Punk. I can tell I've been out of the game for a while because quite a lot. Excuse me. Yes, Jake. When we do the wrestling, you are helping co-host. But keep it a secret now. Don't tell Rob. If he's listening, I'm busted. Just don't tell him. And I tell you what, we'll do this. Jake, are you on Wednesday nights? Are you available Wednesday nights for Hump Day News next week? Just drop it in the chat if you are. And we'll do this next week, and we're not going to tell Rob. I'm just going to show up, and we're just going to do it. When he says, I didn't know either. I was never really into WWE. Okay. So Jake says he's in. Around any time if you need me. Thank you so much for that. All right. You're in with us next week, so we'll just do it. We'll surprise him. We're like, Hey, Rob, say, what's the theme tonight? I say, well, let's get up and go, and then I'll show you. I won't even pull up the slides on the bottom of the screen so you can't see them until after we've already started the show. So, well, yeah, but it's the soap opera of it. That's what it is. I mean, really, do you really watch? Here's the question for you: do you really watch wrestling for the match itself, or is it everything else? I mean, you had Undertaker coming out there doing death scenes and all that stuff, or you got him going out in the crowd and hollering at people and girls, the managers and all that stuff, and they're hollering and screaming and flopping and threatening and I mean the wrestling part of it's just secondary, ain't it? I mean they wrestle for a few minutes and they have some more scenes. I mean, about half of all of it. I'm just throwing that out there. I may be wrong. About half of all of it is, uh, the story. The whole march in. The walk in, and the fans are going, "We love you." Well, that's not really what they're saying, but I can't say that on the air, nor do I want to say it. Well, I'm sure there are those that are doing it. Like I can see Jake over there. Lex, you're my man. Yeah. And but then I don't know who he hates, but somebody's come along. Jake's probably like, "You suck," and that's as clean as I can say it. So I mean, it's the drama. I mean, it's the build up. It's the good guy, bad guy, and then girls too. I'm just saying that in a general sense. When somebody turns bad, they've been a good guy I'm superhero, and they they turn around. Yeah, it's the storyline, Lewis. It is absolutely the storyline, and they they build it up, and then they go you know and they go on the road. You think about the TV part of it. I mean, I know they're in arenas and stuff, but they're all over the country, and they go to these places, and you have to keep it turning and churning because you got your TV audience, but you're in a local place, and they got to come up with new stuff. They got to keep them dollars rolling, keep people interested, and it's becoming they got music blaring, they got the pretty girls and they're half dressed and all that. I mean, they do what they got to do to keep, and the guys are half dressed. There's not much more they can take off. But that's been that way a long time now. Way back in the day, in the early days of wrestling, a lot of those dudes were not cut. I mean, what I mean, like they were just big dudes. They were like a handful that were really workout warriors, but a lot of them dudes were like just chubby biker guys, or football players, and they had big barrel chests and big arms, look country strong, and they had skill, they had agility and all that. They could bounce around a ring. But then later, and I guess you could say that's the rise of the steroid era. I mean, they got cut. I mean, everybody looked like they were off GQ magazine or something, except for a handful. And I mean, they're coming out there. I mean, they don't just have a 6 pack; they got a 12 pack. you know, I mean, there ain't nothing on them that ain't built up, and they got the oils on them, and I mean, rock stars do that. You know that they used to let wrestling make their own storylines. Well, yeah, because they'd have to pay somebody to do that. They just, hey, y'all come up with something. I mean, probably the small time ones, they probably still do that. They probably work out a deal. Okay, now you be the bad guy, I'll be the good guy, and you stole something from me, and you flirted with my girlfriend. Okay, let's go. Robert always thought that I think he finally remembered. He thought that I had been in. He thought that I had been in the arena to watch him wrestle, but no, I saw him at the high school for a fundraiser. I did see that, although he didn't really wrestle a whole lot. They had a bunch of wrestlers, so I think he wrestled once, and then there was the big one at the end where he wrestled. He might have did too. I don't know, but it was a fundraiser for the high school, so I did see that. But I never went to the place. He thought I did, but he didn't. The Attitude Era Rock. Oh, Lewis, did you tell us who your favorite wrestler was, or is, or whatever? I think you just said you was a fan. Did you say who it was? Anybody in the chat can do that, and let us know who they are. Now, I'm an old guy, and I really have only ever been to one. Well, outside of Roberts, I've only ever been to one match in my whole life, and I've mentioned on here before. It was in Chattanooga Memorial Auditorium, and I was at there's some old. Most of them are dead now, because they're a lot older than me. So probably just about all, if not all, those wrestlers are probably dead. And I know, matter of fact, the ones I can remember are. But I was about 7 years old, so that's over 50 years ago. Think about that. And those dudes were wrestling. If they were still alive, they're pretty old. But I know some of them have died because I can remember a few of the names. But I had floor too. I had like I don't remember if it was 3 chairs back or 7 on the floor right in front of the stage. My uncle really, he didn't have a boy at that time, and I was he just took me and did stuff with me, and he took them. They took me to the circus, and they did a lot of stuff with me. But yeah, got to see them. And for a 7 year old, that was pretty dang interesting. I mean, I was scared half the time. I thought they was gonna fall out there and crush me. Oh yeah, Dusty Rhodes and Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Yeah. Oh yeah. Brings back a lot of memories there, Barry. And Lewis says, The Undertaker. The Undertaker. Dude come up with a pretty cool thing, you know. I mean, stick. I mean, you get something like that. I mean, that's going to stick, and you're gonna, that's what you're gonna be known as. And so yeah, but it was a very big in the local area around here and throughout the South. There's no doubt. Barry says, I went to the studio in Atlanta when it was Turner Broadcasting System for CNN. Oh yeah, the great days, man. The great days. I used to love TBS, man. Bill, what was his name? Bill. I think he's dead now too. He was like one of their main TV personalities, and he did a lot of different stuff. But Atlanta was a big hotbed for wrestling. It still is, I guess. I'm sure they filmed some of that down there. But Chattanooga with Harry Thornton and the local wrestling every Saturday was a big deal. And my grandfather watched that stuff like it was the gospel truth. I mean, he was a Baptist preacher, but no, you didn't tell him his wrestling was fake. And he loved it. He loved it. Uh, I look back and I didn't realize at the time, because at the time I was only 5 when my grandfather passed away, and I realized that I had missed so much of what he my dad was a big cut up, really was. He got it from his dad, and I'm a cut up. I cut up on here, and my oldest boy Jeremy, he's kind of like that. But I miss my grandfather. I think I would have really enjoyed just seeing him get a little older and me experience that, and I was cheated out of that. Uh, but he was a hoot, and I could just tell that even at 5, I could tell that. Went to the arena 4 times. One time with NWA. What does that stand for? I don't remember. I remember, but I don't remember. It's kind of like that. NWA. What is that? World. I know the other one's World Wrestling. I don't know what the E stands for. I tell you, I don't keep up, so I'm not making that up. Ric Flair and the Slim Jim guy. Oh yeah, Ric Flair. Around here we had what were they called? Freebirds, Freebirds. That was a pretty big group around here for a while. There was a bunch of them though, but all the main ones would come through and wrestle. I mean, yeah, it's paycheck. I mean, you're coming through. So I mean, all Mr. Wrestling 1 and 2 and Flair and all those Dusty Rhodes, they would have all came through Chattanooga multiple times over the years. It's like dirt track racing. You go where the racetracks are, you go where the arenas are, and where the studios and all that. But I don't know. I guess if you think about it, vaudeville being entertainment. They would do anything and everything to entertain people. And out of that, I mean, the circuses and stuff like that. So you constantly had to come up with stuff to keep people coming back. And that was one of the things they did was those storylines. Getting up there and talking bad. We're gonna break you, man. I mean, sometimes the announcer would act like they were scared, like, oh, and that was big stuff, And in the day, all of that was filmed live here in Chattanooga. I'm sure it was everywhere. So there were little mishaps that happened. Somebody got really hurt, didn't mean to, fell the wrong way. Somebody's toupee falls off. That was all live. They didn't film. I mean, that was live. So I mean but so were the shows. I mean, all the shows. They didn't really get into that till later. So and then like I said, some of it was live later on because it was live. People wanted to see it live. They could still record it, but it was live. But they didn't have the remember when they didn't have a delay on it? I mean, that didn't come along till later. So you had delays that happened, and the things could get out of hand, and they could actually get in a little bit of a tussle, a fight. So yeah, Lewis says, I remember the freebies and the Kevin Von Erich. I do remember Kevin Von Erich. Them freebies and the Kevin Von I do remember Kevin Von Erich. Definitely remember the Road Warriors. We're gonna have to get the pictures and all. Again, I'm glad y'all give me some names because I'll look back through the chat. I'm gonna get some of these, I'll get some pictures and we'll pull up on the slide deck and we'll just talk wrestling and we're just gonna slide that on in and have fun with it. But it would be good. It'd be fun. We'll get some. We'll go back and get some of the. We'll get some new. We'll get some current ones. I mean, what is that dude's name? Y'all gotta help me out. The Big Show. Big Show. Ain't that it? That's the dude who's like 7 foot tall. I saw him fairly up close. I didn't. He didn't talk to me, but I saw him. He was the last dude to leave the arena. He had his own traveling bus, and they were there. I couldn't leave until they left. I mean, all the guests are gone, all the workers, all the other wrestlers who drove up in their cars. A lot of them. They just but this guy had his own bus, and he was in there laying back, and the driver had a friend stop by, and they sitting there and had coffee and talked, and I'm sitting here, it's like, I don't know, like 1:30 in the morning or something. And finally, he cranks the thing up, and he sits there, and he sits there, and he sits there. And I'm thinking, I mean, all I had to do was wait for him to pull off. And finally, they did. That's why I never forget it, because I thought I was going to be out by midnight for sure, 11:30, midnight. And it was like 1:30 going on 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, the life of a security person. I mean, that's just what you have to do, because my job was to guard the parking lot. If I'd been inside, I'd already been gone. So let's see here. We got the, oh, okay. I got you. Thank you for that. NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. Rock and Roll Express. I do not remember. It does not ring a bell. Rock and Roll Express. Legend right here. Legend. Absolute. Do remember him. And who would forget? Well, you could never forget him anyway. But who could forget the... oh, dadgummit, the match against Hulk Hogan, yeah. Oh yeah, legendary. I've watched the documentaries about that. Macho Man Randy Savage. Definitely, dude. Definitely. There used to be on the local sports talk here in town on 102.3, and they're still on, but there used to be a guy that would call in every once in a while and talk as Macho Man Randy Savage about sports. He stayed in character the whole time. He was only usually on for a minute or two, but he stayed in character the whole time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You think after a while your throat would get just wore out talking like that. Oh, man. But you know what? Hey, it worked for him. It sure worked for him. I do remember Kevin Sullivan. I do remember that name. Um, See, I go way back, like Mr. Tojo Yamamoto. He'd pull off his wooden shoe and hit you in the head. The Fab was it? Wasn't it the Fabulous Thunderbirds? Wasn't that a group? You know, I know it was a music group, but wasn't it a wrestling group? Same name, something like that. Uh, the Hart brothers, Hart. Yeah, it's a big wrestling family. Uh, we're forgetting so many, but wasn't there one called? Oh man, what was? And I may be thinking it wasn't the Road Warriors. What was the dudes that come out in the? What in overalls was? They had the big boots on. They did the whole thing like this. What was them dudes' names? Heart Foundation. Thank you, Lewis. You are a fan. You be a fan. I mean, you remember stuff. I bringing it back to my memory. Um, my sister, my middle sister, uh, she was a big fan when she was a teenager, and she went to a few wrestling matches. I'd have to get her on sometime to. She won't come on air live, but she'll come in the chat. We used to have the Bushwhackers. That's it. Yeah, talk about redneck. We might have. Are they still around? Or are they like retired? We're gonna show you a guy though. We're gonna show you a guy on the next Cornbread Nation. We're gonna run a commercial of him or one of his videos real quick, and it has cracked me up. He definitely fits on Cornbread Nation as a. When we go to our next destination, he's gonna be he's gonna be part of it. Do you think they're retired? Well, I don't doubt it, man. How you get old? when Oh yeah, the Sheik and Jerry Lawler. Now I remember those. I can't remember the names, but when you say them, I remember. I remember those names. When they had the fundraiser at the high school, I went to the restroom and I was coming back. And it was they were pretty legendary. They weren't huge, but it was brothers and they dressed up as cowboys. They were kind of short. They were on the short side, but they were getting ready over on the side. Like they come in their cowboy hats and jeans and all that stuff. Well, they went to they went to the locker room, got all changed. Well, they come out and they were way off the side of the stage. You couldn't see them. They was out by the bleachers, and they were rubbing down with the biofreeze or one of those type of things, their knees and everything, because they were getting ready. And they didn't wrestle too long. They were getting pretty old, so they didn't have much time left. But they did come and do a fundraiser. I thought that was pretty cool. Terry Funk, I do remember the name. I couldn't tell you one thing about him, but I do remember that name. And I think I kind of, sort of remember that one. Couldn't tell you nothing about him either. Y'all leaving out the ladies now. I ain't seen the lady yet, except Miss Elizabeth be mentioned. China, that's one of them, right? China. So yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all coming up with some good stuff. Let's go a few more minutes, and we'll get a commercial break in, and we're gonna pull up these slides of these politicians, and we'll get your ideas of what do you think they're thinking. Just have fun with it. I actually let's see. Good evening, brother Jerry. We're walking down wrestling lane right now, trying to. We're gonna have a wrestling show next week, so we start talking about names, and we're gonna show some political pictures here in a minute, and we're gonna get everybody's opinion on what they were thinking. What were they thinking? You could come up with about probably 100 things they're thinking, and all of them probably you could think of fraud or cheating somebody, or some of them like they're guilty. But you'll be creative. Think of what it is, and we'll start that in a minute. I've got ready. I think I got 12 pictures. So we'll get to that in a minute. But I'm enjoying the walk down wrestling lane. There was a guy. I remember when I was 5, and I told you I watched wrestling with my grandfather. I can't remember the guy's name, but I remember he got the sleeper hold on. He was never a big star, and I told my grandfather I rooted for him because I liked that he could it's fake, but he's putting them to sleep, And I can't remember that dude's name. We're talking 1969, well, 70, what I remember, because he died on Christmas Day, 70. So sometime around, think of 1970. I have no clue who that would be. Um, Dusty Rhodes was my wife's third cousin. Well, awesome. Did you ever get to meet him as a third cousin, her third cousin? Okay, well, the lady's name was Lita, like Lita Ford. I know, rock and roll. Lita, Lolita. I want to say, and I've said this before, when I guarded that arena event, most of the wrestlers, I mean, they waved to fans, they were all cool and everything, but there was a lady wrestler that come out there, and she signed autographs for a long time, and I thought that was pretty cool. She was very gracious with her time. And the fans are paying their hard-earned money, and I know they're tired after an event like that. They got to be wore out. They shower up, they get on down the road. They're ready to go to bed somewhere. They got another show probably the next night or 2 nights away or something. But a lot of traveling to do, and I really appreciate her doing that. I heard him say her name. I can't tell you what it was, but she had a security there with her. But she was everybody was great. You got to meet him twice. Awesome, awesome. Yes, I do remember Abdullah the Butcher. Wasn't he kind of crazy looking? Seemed like he was kind of wild looking from my memory of that name. But I do remember the name Abdullah the Butcher. That sounds like a terrorist name now, right? Probably didn't think about it, but think about it. Abdullah the Butcher. That'd be his handle, like Abdullah, whatever his name, Abdullah, whatever. He's on trial for. They call him the Butcher. This is all the people that he killed. That's what it reminds me of. Carry a fork. Carry a fork. Jerry said he was told that Abdullah was born in Grady Hospital. Grady there in Atlanta. I believe you're talking about, I think. I didn't know that, but you know what? What do y'all think about there were a lot of wrestlers that the roid rage and abused, hit on their family, and I think in one or two cases, they killed somebody, and it is that still a problem in wrestling? You think is the roids? I mean, and I know that health wise, it destroyed some of their health. I mean, it destroyed them. Hey, dog tag. Hey, I've been wondering how you've been doing. He's on the AT in North Carolina. You want a link, brother, or you just want to chat for a minute? I hope you're well. I've been praying for you. We've been getting people to pray for you. And he crossed over from Georgia to North Carolina. We sent him a congratulations, and he got a long way to go, but he's making every step is a step closer. So he's in the great state of North Carolina. And I'll be dancing back and forth between Tennessee and North Carolina for a while as he gets up the AT. And I hope you're doing well. I know it's got to be grueling. Let's see. Do I remember Mr. Raymond, number 2 name, before he became wrestler number 2? I don't remember that. I do remember the other. Let me get you. Do we have your email in? I mean, you've been getting that from Robert. You're in Franklin? Wow, you've made some moves. That should have been said wrestler too. Okay. Dog tag, do I have your email in the Yahoo, or have you been emailing Rob on his? I think we have it in the. Hold on here. Let me double check that, brother. Brother man, y'all bear with me just for a second. Let's see here. Yeah. Let me get back over here and I'll pull that up and we'll see. Let me get his answer. And y'all just bear with me for just a second. Send a link. Yeah, do I have your email in the Yahoo, dog tag? Do I have your email in the Yahoo? That's all I need to know. If I have that, you'll have that. Let me see if I can round that up because I don't remember. I think I do. Let me see. But if I don't, you'll have to you'll have to just send me an email. Because I think Robert's been doing that, and I don't know if I have your email. So, oh, messenger. Okay, I got you. Hang on, folks. Keep talking. Keep sending them names, and let me see if I can. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. That's not the one I wanted. Da 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 da. Let me get over here and get signed in here. Let's see here. Hang on. There it is. I do have it. Let me get back over here to the stream and we'll get you a link, brother. And we got to hear about dog tag. That's important stuff right here on a Friday night. All right, brother, you got it. It's all with you, man. It's all with you. Yeah, he has been sending. He likes to do that kind of thing, so I just leave it to him. We kind of share duties, and he usually takes that, and unless it's just someone I've invited. Yeah, I bet it is dark out there. The Rock. Oh yeah, he was. He parlayed that into, I think, well, like Hulk Hogan. I mean, he used that to get up, on up the ladder. I mean, there's been more than him too. I mean, I could probably sit here and think of. I don't think of him right now, but Rock is probably. You think he's probably made? I mean, Hulk Hogan's made a lot of money. The Rock has made a lot of money. Is there anybody else that could even get close to that besides Vince McMahon? They probably got him beat, but he's made a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money, hundreds of millions. So he may be the richest dude of them all from that. But they definitely made a lot of money. The Rock continues to make big money. And I laughed one time in Hulk Hogan's reality show. He talked about how his wife talked him out of doing the George Foreman, what would have been the Hulk Hogan grill, and they gave it to George Foreman. What a big hit. And it still sells. Still says. John Cena. Now, John Cena was at that arena that night when I guarded the arena. John Cena came in a car, had a couple other, I think one other dude wrestler and a female, or maybe that was his girlfriend, wife, or whatever. But John Cena was there. He got a lot of cheers, and he waved at the crowd, went on in. So I have seen John Cena fairly up close. Oh, yeah. Rowdy Roddy Piper. Legend. Didn't he come out in a kilt? I'm trying to remember. Memories are coming back. I got to knock the cobwebs out and get it all back in place. But I think that he did. I think that he did wear that. Rowdy. He was mouthy, which they all are. Oh man. I was going to say, I got kind of sidetracked. We had that little Nintendo wrestling game, and you could wrestle. And they had all the wrestlers in there. He did. He worked, and I was. Well, what I have been better legs than Becky. Classic. Oh yeah. I thought I remembered that. I mean, like I said, I hadn't watched in a while. Heck yeah, with a kilt. I mean, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, you got to have something, You got to have something. So, everybody can't wear. Your phone is not listening to you not when you speak. Tell it to listen. Oh, you're okay. We know what you meant. We knew what you meant. We got it. Hey, my spell check sometimes on my new phone, it goes crazy. And I swear, I'll look at it when I type it in, and I'll move on, and I'll look back, and I'm like, it went back and changed that. How did it do that? Because I know it was right. But it's crazy. Hey, we have coming up on the screen dog tag from the Appalachian Trail. Let's see
Hello,
here. Let's
David. How are you?
hang on a second. Let me get this over here where we can. There we are. Let's get a little bit better one than that. Let's see. Well, that ain't it. There we go.
There we go.
There you go. How you doing, brother?
Uh,
Salute to
it,
you.
it has been a rough week.
I kind of had that gut feeling that it had, man. Because
Yeah.
I get it, man. It's tough, man, and I just felt like it was. So I certainly wasn't going to bother you because I felt like you needed just to concentrate on what you're doing. But what's been going on, man? How can we best pray
Well, let's
for you, and
see.
where you at?
Tuesday night, we were up on the mountain, had 60, 70-mile-an-hour winds with rain blowing
Oh,
sideways.
wow.
It was freaking hard. I gotta admit. I stayed in a shelter that night, but there it was crammed full of people, and I was out on the edge. And in the morning when we woke up, four of the six of us that stayed there. Well, I shouldn't say four of us. Four of them that stayed in the shelter with me that night walked into town. They were done. Their wet sleeping bags. They were cold. They said, "Nope, I'm into town," and I couldn't see walking backward 7 miles when 7 miles ahead would take me to the next shelter. So
Sure.
I hiked to the next shelter that day and got there, and that shelter was full. So I
Mm.
had to set my tent up only to find out that it was going to snow that night.
Oh, wow.
So I wake up in the middle of the night and my tent's coming down on me because it's got so much snow on it. So uh,
Wow.
had to, had to put my pole in there to prop my tent up and went back to sleep. So
Yeah.
then the day after the big rainstorm, I was coming off of one of the mountains and slipped on some leaves and mud and took my first fall on the AT.
Uh
And
oh.
when I took the fall, I broke one of my walking poles. So
Oh man.
the last few days, I've been walking with my good walking pole and a nature made stick. So
Gotcha.
it's been a rough week, but then it ended on a high note today. I was trying to hike into Franklin to go to a hostel, and I passed two hikers, and they said, "Hey, do you know anything about medicine? There's a guy that's down on the trail down here that could probably use some help." So I said, "Well, I'm a retired paramedic. Let me get down there and look at him." And so I hustled down the trail as fast as I could on my hobbling leg, and got there, and it was a scoutmaster from a Boy Scout troop that was suffering from chronic vomiting and diarrhea, and his
Mm.
troop had left to go try to get him help, and he was in his tent. And I walked up on him and told him I was a retired paramedic. Is there anything I could do? He didn't answer me. I almost got to the point where I was going to open his tent, and he finally answered me, and we started talking. Told me that he'd been sick for 2 days and that he didn't feel strong enough to finish his hike. And I said, "Well, we got to get you out of here. Can't leave you sitting out here." And so I told him I was a paramedic. Didn't seem to really get his attention. Then I told him I was an Eagle Scout, and he goes, "Oh, well, then let's talk." So then I
Yeah.
managed to get him out of his tent, get his gear packed up, and one of his assistants came back and said that the rescue squad was coming to get him, but we needed to get him to a better place. So we walked up the trail probably about a mile, and the rescue squad got there just after we got there, and they ended up transporting him into town and kind of set me back on my plan for getting into Franklin. And then this Boy Scout troop said, "Hey, we'll give you a ride into Franklin." So I instead of walking 8 more miles on the trail today, I I took a free ride, a free ride into town. And so
Yeah.
I'm staying at a hostel tonight. I tried to call you from inside the hostel, but it's called the Barn, and it's a big metal building, and the signal inside is zero. But if I'm standing outside the barn, I'm able to get a good enough signal to talk to you. So
Yeah.
like I said,
Well,
I'm going to take a couple days off, rest my knee, try to catch up on some of my videos that I've been working on, um, and just kind of catch everybody up because I've kind of a week behind this past week with the weather as bad as it was. Uh, I had signal in some places, but when it gets to be 8 o'clock at night, that's almost hiker midnight, and I was tired.
Yeah.
And
I don't blame you.
I've been taking some Dayquil to get my voice back and get rid of the cold that I had. And as soon as I take that Dayquil, I'm out for about 5 hours. So then I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out what am I going to do for the next 5 hours. So
yeah, you talk about him being sick like that. That's the way I was last Saturday night. I got really sick about. It was really Sunday morning. I got sick about. Oh, I was sick all night, but about 5 o'clock in the morning, that's really when it really hit me. So I feel his pain. There's been a lot of stomach bugs, flu, different things going around. It's that time of year, but glad you were there for him to at least give him some assistance till they could get him on in. Because
I was telling him and his other leaders that I can add that to my list of where I've provided medicine at as a paramedic. I've done it in a plane a couple times, and Las Vegas Strip, and now I can say on the AT I've used my paramedicine. So
there you go.
But it's all good, there's some other hikers here. They're getting ready to leave in the morning, but I'm going to take a couple days off and rest my knee, and because my knee's been swollen since I twisted it the other day, and but it's all good,
Is the ones hiking with you? Are they going to stay with you the 2 days, or are they going to?
No, they actually got ahead of me a day, and then they came into Franklin to get away from the bad weather. And Dumb Dog Tag stayed out on the trail to try to keep putting miles behind me. And so they were all leaving Franklin today to get back on the trail, and I'm coming into Franklin. So we're within a day of each other, and it's cool. The trail is a social element. There's always people coming, but it's just been amazing how many veterans that I've been meeting on the trail since we started. It's just incredible. So
awesome. Barry wants to know if you have a portable first aid kit that you carry with you.
My portable first aid kit is about the size of a quart size Ziploc bag. I carry just kind of emergency stuff, nothing that would compare to anything that I ever carried in my career. But I do carry some medicine. I did have some Imodium. We gave him some Imodium to help with his diarrhea, and we had some electrolytes that we put in our water. I wanted him to try and start drinking some fluids. Seemed like that was the only thing that he could keep down, was just clear fluids. So while we were waiting for the rescue squad to get there, that's what we did, is we had him drink some. I don't carry any IVs or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or he would have gotten stuck and loaded up with some fluids that way. But I don't carry a big enough kit that it's just one of those items that you hope that you never really need. Out there.
Well, thanks for checking in. I know you're tired. It's almost 9 o'clock, and we'll let you get some rest. I'm glad you was able to check in. We look forward to it. It's a blessing to us. We're praying for you, and we're rooting for you. To be safe and keep making those miles. And we appreciate you letting us be a part of the journey. It's so
cool to check in with you guys and just let you know how things are going. And I wish I could do it more often. Some days I have a good signal, and like I said, tonight I'm standing outside the hostel, because if you stand inside the hostel, you have no signal. So in order to communicate with you guys, you got to get out underneath the big sky with the jacket, and hopefully I'm supposed to have a clear day tomorrow, but I'm not going to be on the trail tomorrow, and then Sunday the rain comes back, and we'll see. So it's an adventure, and it is what it is. And I'm having a good time, and there's some moments where you wonder what the heck you're doing out here, why you're doing it. And then I take my backpack off and I see those dog tags, and I did want to share one story. Last week when I stopped in at a hostel down in Hiawassee, somebody heard that I was called dog tagging. He came up to me and said, "I want to give something to you." He gave me a military dog tag, an actual military dog tag that he had found on the Appalachian Trail he had dropped something under one of the shelters, and he crawled under the shelter to get what he had dropped, and it had fallen through the kind of the boards. And when he was under there, he came across this military dog tag, and it's old enough that anybody that's in your audience would know that years and years ago, before they started putting your social security number on dog tags, they put an actual military ID number. And this dog tag's old enough to have one of those. And so I've got some friends that are, involved with the VA, and my daughter, who's a military police officer. I'm going to get them all his name and his military ID number. We're going to try to find out if he was actually through hiking the trail, if he was, when he did it, and if he finished. Because I'd like to carry the dog tag along with the other ones that I'm carrying.
Oh yeah.
When we finish in Maine, I'd like to return it to him.
That'd be cool, man. What a cool story, man. That is
so yeah,
cool.
it was kind of exciting when he came up to me. He says, "You know what? I've been carrying this for years, and you seem like the person that needs it." So I told him that we're going to try and find out who this guy is and see if he's still alive, and what kind of hike he was doing on the AT, how his dog tag ended up underneath one of the shelters on the Appalachian Trail.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I'll keep you informed. Yeah. Also, the keeper's supposed to come out next week sometime with me, and he says he's going to hike for a few days. So I'm hoping that we'll be somewhere where we can get on together, and you guys can, talk to him and hear more about his wonderful stories. So.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Thanks so much. I hope that works out.
Yeah.
The only last question I have, so I'll let you go, just because it popped in my head. This far into the trail, do you feel like you have your trail legs now,
no.
Or is that still okay? You don't have.
No, I mean they're coming. They are coming. I noticed that going, especially with my knee injury, going up the hills, I seem to be able to walk longer distances before I have to stop and take a little second wind. But they say it might take another couple of weeks. So most people say it takes you a month. I mean, it's frustrating for me to walk the trail and see all these younger people and older people just blow by me like I'm standing still. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I need to do differently to be better prepared? And, some people will say, well, you needed to hike more mountains. You needed to hike with weight on your back. Like I said, they're coming. And, but everybody says that the people who start fast and do big mileage are in the usually don't make it category. And they say the higher percentage comes with those people who do short miles in the early part of it, let their legs develop, and then get there. I mean, I know I'm losing weight. When I weighed myself at the last hostel, I was down 9 pounds. But since then, I noticed my belt's tightened up even more. So I'm losing weight, but I'm eating. When they picked me up at the trailhead today to bring me to the hostel, we went to Wally Mart, and I did my resupply at Wally Mart today. And so I bought some extra food and snacks that I can eat this weekend while I'm here they provide here at the hostel, they provide you breakfast, but then you're on your own for lunch and dinner. So it's just cool. It's a cool experience.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So, I thank you guys. I thank you for the opportunity to come on and talk with you. Tell Rob I said hello, and
he's doing family thing tonight, so he's not with me tonight.
We're not family. We didn't get invited to the family thing.
He had a sister coming in. They were going to do a bonfire. I said he just should have set up the camera by the bonfire.
Heck yeah,
that would have been cool.
Yeah, there was a night. One of the nights I called you, I had a fire going, and when I was up on the mountain this week, I started a fire. When I got up the morning, it snowed. My pole, I couldn't get my tent apart because the poles were frozen together. So I had to start a fire so I could set my poles by the fire and warm up. And as hikers would come by, they'd see the fire and they go, "Oh, mind if we stand by the fire and warm up?" I go, "Sure," so they'd come over and warm up a little bit, and then they would get back on the trail, so it's fun. It's a great experience.
Are you going to try to replace your walking stick or just use the?
I did today. That was the first place he took me today. We went to an outfitter here in Franklin and spent another $130 on another new set of poles. But He did tell me the owner of the hostel here. He said that if I reach out to the company that I bought the poles from, and especially if I show them the receipt that I bought a second set of poles, he said a lot of times they'll either send you the replacement part for the pole, or they'll either replace the whole set together. So we'll see. But I wasn't going to wait for a response from the company. In order for me to walk, it's so much easier with 2 walking poles. So, so I've already done that today.
Well, thanks, Dog Tag. We love you, appreciate you, praying for you. After you get
Thank
off
you.
here, I'm gonna put your card up, and we'll do a commercial and pop that up so people can hopefully donate to the cause. And we'll
Well,
talk to you in a few days, brother.
just the simple prayers are enough. I mean, it was nice. I met a couple out here on the trail this week. They're hiking together, and it was interesting. He carries, I don't know if you know what an SLR is, a single lens reflex camera. The old cameras that have, the old cameras that have actual film that go in it. And he's been on the trail. He and his wife been on the trail, and they've been looking for trail names. And so I was walking one day thinking about him, and because he carries this camera around his neck along with his backpack, and I said his trail name needs to be SLR. So he's taken the trail name now, SLR, on the trail. And those of us that are old enough to know what an SLR is, they would understand that. But so I've given 3 people trail names. One of them was the 18-year-old that wants to be a firefighter. We call him Sparkplug. There's a retired Air Force guy that just retired from the Air Force. He's a single dad. And I said, dude, you need to be single dad on the trail. Then that way all the women know you're single. And then the guy, one of the veterans that was hiking with me, he says, no, we need to add a T to that. We need to call him STD. And that would generate more questions by people. They always ask, they want to know about your name. And, when a guy's got a trail name of STD, but then he tells them, well, it stands for single trail dad, not the other one. So it's always funny to hear. It's always funny to hear some of the trail names that people get out here. So that just makes for interesting. So I'm sure Rob would have gotten a kick out of that one if I had told him that one. So
I'll remember to tell him. Yeah, he will. Yeah. He'll get a kick out of that.
Yeah, it's been fun. A lot of good stories. They're inside this barn. They call it the barn here, the hostel. It's a big metal shed, and they've converted it into a hostel. And they don't have internet here. They have it up at the main house. We go up there for breakfast in the morning, but when you're inside that metal building, I have no signal. So that's why I'm standing out here in the cold instead of inside of a warm building. So
well, go get warm, man.
Well, I will. I'm going to finish I got to fold my laundry. I did my laundry, and their shower here at this hostel is a little bit different than most hostels. It was actually outside, and when you're dirty and you want to be clean, you'll stand anywhere. And the one of the girls that's through hiking, she's here. She asked me. She goes, "What did you think of that shower outside?" I go, "You know what? It was nice as long as I was standing underneath it. But then when you had to turn that water off and it was no warm water, and you're standing there with that breeze blowing up underneath the curtain that kind of goes around the thing, you get dressed really quick. I think that's what I need to do at my house is have an outside shower for my teenage kids so maybe they won't spend as long in the shower. So,
that's right.
So, but yeah, it's cool. So everything's good. Knee's a little sore, but we'll be back on the trail either Sunday or Monday. I haven't decided. So, can't complain. The price here is $40 a night to stay here at the hostel. And,
it's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. And plus you get breakfast in the morning. So, and he takes you into town if you want to go into town and do any shopping. So we'll see.
That's cool.
All right, Dave. Well, you take care. Tell Rob I said hello, and we'll try and check in later this week or later next week, and let you know that I went over 100 miles on the trail this week, and we're in North Carolina. So
love it.
So goodbye, brother. Georgia.
Yeah.
All right. All righty. Well, you take care. You all be safe, and thank you everybody for your prayers and for thinking about me, and like I said, I feel it on the days that some days I'm having rough days, and I'm thinking, man, there's a lot of people out there that are depending on me, and it's just nice to know. And then next thing I know, I get some trail magic, and it's just nice to have, and appreciate everything everybody's doing.
That's cool. That's cool, brother. We
All
appreciate you
right, well, you be
letting us
safe
come
there, and
along.
we'll talk to you soon.
You got it, brother. Take care.
All right, take care.
All
Bye.
right. Bye bye. Very nice. Very nice. Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and y'all pray for him and root him on. It's tough, a lot of people quit. He's got a purpose for his walkthrough, and but it has been some rough weather. There's no doubt that those winds were not playing, and I understand what he's talking about being sick, because, like I said, I got really sick over the weekend. Hey, we'll be right back, and we'll get into some funny pictures and or whatever you want to talk about. You don't want to do the pictures now? We'll just talk, but we'll do whatever. We'll probably pull up a few, and y'all take care. Thanks for being here. God bless you too. And you get to go along this journey with Dog Tag. I think it's the coolest thing ever, and it just it's been a real blessing, and we look forward to that. And in fact, we're going to have hopefully him and George Eshelman on from the movie The Keeper in a few days. Wow, we're going to have to definitely clip that one out and save that conversation. How cool is that? We'll be right back. When I say we and well, me and you, we. We'll see you in a minute. This is David the AM with the Southern Fried Podcast. We are now an affiliate of Podbean. Podbean is an audio platform which helps you get your voice out there. You can go online and go live from your very phone that you use. You don't have to have a lot of special equipment. It's nice to have a studio, but it's expensive. You can do those things from your phone. Hey, I was a listener of Podbean before I even became a podcaster. Maybe you've thought about being one. There was a time when I didn't think about being a podcaster, but think about it. You've got things to share. It could be as simple as baking, or it could be working on a car. The stories are endless that you could come up with to be a podcaster. And there are people out there that want to listen and to your stories and to your shows. And we're thankful for all those that watch and listen to us. Podbean is now an affiliate of the Southern Fried Podcast. Unless you're a business plan, that would be the bottom one. The one on top, use that. You'll get discounts, and also the Southern Fried Podcast benefits in this as well. I love Podbean. They also help launch out to many other audio sites. This saves me time. Time is precious. Time to be on the podcast. Time for research. Time to be with family. And yes, time to work. Yes, we still work out there in the workforce. So become a podcaster. Use Podbean. And when you use these links, one of them, you will save money, and you'll also help the Southern Fried Podcast. Thanks so much for all your support. Take care. We'll see you soon. Hey, boys, this is your Southern Fried Podcast, Cornbread Nation, funny of the week. Hey, Rob and Dave, got in that old studio again. Wanted to leave you a little funny. People been asking me about my girlfriend. I didn't have one, but I got one. We've been having a good time. We've been going out to eat and going on walks. Well, I made her walk, but I drove on the little scooter. But we've been going out and having a good time, movies and all, and I like her. We was in the store the other day, and I thought I'd have a little fun with her, and I thought I'd share that with you on the Cornbread Nation. You folks better pay attention to that Cornbread Nation now. It's funny because it's got Uncle Jeb. Yeah. Well, we were walking around the store, and we got up to pay, and I said, Baby love, I said, you know what? You're the prettiest one I ever been with. And she said, oh, I like how she said, oh, that's so sweet. And I said, yeah, the rest of them were 9s and 10s. Well, she didn't like that. I laughed. The people laughed. She didn't laugh, boys. You know what? Timing's everything, Rob. You know what? I told that joke too early. Because she left me with the bill. There you are, Southern Fried. There, Cornbread Nation. Uncle Jeb, your Cornbread Nation, funny of the week. Get you some of that, boys. All right, Uncle Jeb. Let me fix this screen here. I'm all over the place. I know. Hang on here. See which one I was on. That wasn't it. That was it. Rob usually does all the. Rob likes to have the picture. each in a certain place, and I never fool with it unless I'm on here by myself. So I get out of practice. Well, I appreciate Dog Tag checking in, and I did want to say, and he's not looking for donations. He's raising money for awareness to give to these organizations who help veterans and first responders who need some help, but they're thinking about, being part of the 22 a day, So here is he has a Facebook page and a YouTube. He posts videos. There's some of the tags, and there is the QR code. And I'm going to drop this off just for a second. In fact, I wanted to look. We have given unto this, and he's using his own money to finance the trip. So that's not what's going on with that. But this does take you to his fundraising page, and he's up to $756. So it's went up a little bit. It was at 722 the last time I looked. But he posts up pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff, and it's beautiful. If you just like to follow along for the nature part of it, is absolutely killer. So Robert Diamond, Dog Tag as he's known on the trail for carrying the dog tags. And of course, if George Isherman's goes out there, he's the keeper. So that's why they called that there. And so we appreciate him doing that. He didn't have to do that. It was awful nice of him to be willing to come on here and help us with that. And just share the story, document it somewhat. He's doing it along the way too, but we get kind of a live and in color. So I appreciate that. He didn't have to do that. He was more than willing to do it, and I appreciate it. Let's get back into our chats. Jerry says, I believe my phone is female tonight. Oh, you're going to get in trouble, man. You're going to get in trouble. He's not listening. Barry said, I think he said he would kick butt and chew bubble gum, and he's all about bubble gum. I'm not sure if it's spell check or just beer with me. Okay, could be. Thank you, Barry, for the prayers for Dog Tag. He'll take those. And he answered your question on that. Thank you for encouraging him. A lot of people quit the trail, like you said. They get to a point and their body's hurt and they're tired. They're missing that bed at home and everything else, all the creature comforts and stuff. Yes, Steve, that was the Appalachian Trail guy, Robert Diamond, Dog Tag as he's known. Hey, brother, I hope your live got straightened out. I know you were having some trouble. I enjoyed what I saw, though. You're always entertaining. And yeah, Barry, you take care, brother. We appreciate you being here, man. But I know that's frustrating when your technology don't do what you need it to do. But that is him, and he checks in usually. Okay, Lewis, you make dinner. You gotta do that. You got to eat, man. But yeah, technology is great until it's not. And I've been there. I've had frustrations. I've had a lot of frustrations. There's nights I wanted to punch the screen. I wouldn't have done it, but I felt like it. So, but you always make it fun and comical, even when you're having trouble. And you may, for us that stream, whoever we are, it is that communication between different platforms that drives you crazy. It's like it should be working, but it's not. And you're right. What you said right before you went on, or right after you went on, and you said you think like you're good. 4 minutes to go. I got everything done. I got one little 30-second thing to do. It's always more than that, and that's why sometimes when you see us coming into the live, Rob's like, "Well, where'd Dave go?" Well, Dave put his camera off because he could go fix something. Or if I look like I'm not even paying attention, I'm listening, but I'm usually resetting up a stream that got knocked out the last minute. In fact, that happened this morning on this morning's live. Instagram at the last second said, no, we're not going to do it. So I had to delete it and open it back up and reset it. I've gotten fast at it. I did that in less than probably 20 seconds. But it's right as we're going live, and it just drives me crazy. Steve says, got the camera issue fixed. About 20 minutes later, my laptop wouldn't take a charge. I remember you talking about the charge and was dying. Oh, the brutal death of the charge. So I had to shut it down again for the night. Oh, I thought she was coming back. I looked for her to come back up. I had about 20 minutes I could still listen, and I didn't see you come up, so I figured you just had trouble. But you finished the spoon for the audience. Okay, cool. Nice. Um, I used to stream many years ago. It's quite stressful managing everything. It is. Because you never have the same problem twice. Well, unless it's me and it's my mic. I finally got me, I had this great mic, and I guess it got a demon, or maybe I dropped it one too many times, and I just figured out it was just the mic. And I bought a new one, and everything's been pretty good until sometimes it's finicky too. Mics are finicky, they're crazy stuff. But yeah, when you're piecing all this stuff together and you got all this stuff going on, and you think, oh, I'm doing good. That's the way it goes. Well, we got enough time to do these pictures. I've enjoyed the first part of the show, but I'm going to pull up some political pictures. I've got about 12 pictures. And let's just think of what we think of. And if you're in Podbean, I'm sorry, we'll describe who it is. You can imagine. But let me get it up on stage. There's the first one. Old Bill. Now, this is a few years ago. He's lost weight and she's put on weight since those days. Let me take down the comment here. And Bill has a whistle in his mouth with a look. And Hillary, I don't know what you say about... no, he's doing bonfire with family. Like we're not family, right? He could have put the bonfire on the video. We'll give him a hard time about that. No, he called saying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all this, man. He was like the dude calling. I'm going to give him a hard time. He's not here. Rob was like the dude telling his wife, like, baby, I really want to be here with you. I've just got some things to take care of. And after he whines for a few minutes, she says, oh, go on out with the guys. It's all right. So that's kind of what I felt like. It's like, I got a lot to do. I don't know if I'm going to get done. It's going to rain tomorrow. I don't think we'll be able to do that bonfire, but tonight. And I said, go ahead, man. It's good. He said, you don't mind? I said, no, I don't mind, man. It's good. Yes, I knew Hillary had a big mouth. I don't know. They look like maybe it's at a race or something. Somebody's taking their picture behind there, like a video or picture. Maybe they're at some kind of a sporting event or something. He's kicking off. I don't know. But Bill looks like he's checking. Bill's Bill. He looks like he's checking out somebody. Like and he's got that whistle ready to go. And I don't know what the heck she's looking like. She that is the look that she would have had on the first election against the first time that President Trump won. That was probably her. With her face would have been redder though when she found out that she really lost to Donald J. Trump. So they both have very different expressions going on in this picture. I mean, very different expressions. By the way, we are representing both sides of the aisle tonight. This is not a Democrat only one, but that is the first one. Bill and Hillary. Number two, he's always good for one. There's several I had to choose, and I chose this one because, he Bill's judging a wet T-shirt contest. Hillary is scooping up a full of fish as she swims through the ocean. Yeah, this is the look of satisfaction. This is he always has, George W. He always has that smirk, a little bit of like, like he could be, calling it BS or, he's always got a lot of thoughts behind the face. He always has that little bit of a smirk look like that, but it is the look of satisfaction. Like, yep, they thought they had me, but I won. Either that or Loris told him to take the garbage out, and he's like, okay, I'm the president. He's always good for a laugh. George W. would be a great guy to go out and have a drink with because he seemed like he likes to cut up. And he used to take he used to be pretty sauced himself back in the early days. down in Texas in his early in his political career and had to get that straightened out. His daddy told him, you ain't gonna win. You keep that up. Looks less like satisfaction, more like crap. Did I just say that out loud? You may be right. Pretty good. What about that one? Our boy Barry, old Barry, Sotero, or Sarah, what is that? Sotero, wasn't it? Anyway, Barack Hussein Obama. Let's see here. I don't have a clue. I mean, there's so many ways you can go with that look. I mean, in the eyes, there's a look, but then you ring in the mouth and the ears, and wow. He's another one that had a lot of facial expressions that were all over the place, but he's definitely got the like condescending look going on there. There's actually multiples of him looking like that, you know. Each stage of grief at the same time. Yeah, never mind. Man, there's a lot behind that face. Pretty good, folks. Pretty good. Wow. All right, number 3. Oh, he's President Trump is very visual. You can read his. Now, sometimes he'll put on his whole. It's still a look. It's like the old gangster look, like, like, yeah, okay, yeah, hurry up. But then sometimes when somebody says something, he always has that little head bob and that little like oomph, like, okay, rolls the shoulders a little bit. So that's his response to Obama's. That could be the look when he pulls up. He likes McDonald's, and he pulls up and they say, "I'm sorry, it's going to be 3 minutes for fresh fries." It's like, or the ice cream machine's down again. He's trying to squeak out one of those farts that could be like a dog whistling a bullhorn, depending on very carefully regulated pressure. Oh man. Oh. He looks like he's at some school or something, so he's really trying hard not to do it. I need to think about that. Like I said, I didn't have any preconceived ideas. I just pulled the picture and I'm like, I'm just gonna put them up. We're just gonna work on it together. Sometimes I do some scripts, but a lot of times I don't. This is one of those times I didn't. Oh, the master, the looks, I tell you. Next. Steve, all I can say is we probably can't say what you're thinking. Because there's a lot in that picture. I mean, a lot. Oh. I mean, the more you look at that picture, the more. Biden's looks pretty sinister. Oh man, y'all are too funny. Okay, here we go. The master. They notice Trump's clenched butt cheeks and they're laughing because they know he's squeaking. Oh man. When I saw that one, I was like, okay, we got to have that one. I mean, there's only like, 10,000 gazillion pictures, but that was the one that I said, that's it. Actually, I was just looking for Biden alone. And when that popped up, I said, okay, Obama, you get to go back for picture number two. That's just too good. Number six, the whole look on Zelensky's. Hey, his feet are touching the ground. And that's a classic pose. Trump likes to get up there and put his hands together and that where he has his thumbs touching it. He does this all the time. And of course, he's a pretty big dude, But Zelensky is he's not even paying Zelensky any attention. And Zelensky is looking at him like cutting his eyes over. And he's wearing a suit. He's probably thinking, this stupid man made me wear a suit. I'll get him back one day in front of the press. Notice they got the Ukrainian flag right in the middle of the American flags. Come on, that's not right. That's actually not proper, I don't think. Oh, man. I'm glad Rob's not. Not that I'm glad he's not here. I'm just glad he's not here right now because it would not be good. Oh, sitting next to the classmate who contributed nothing to the group project. Zelensky, this is BS that Dad made me wear big boy clothes. He does not look happy. I mean, for him, he's never much. He don't smile hardly ever anyway. I mean, I don't. I think I saw one picture with him smiling in it when I was pulling these, and he's always very stern. He's got to look the part. We're at war. Have you forgotten? We're at war. We cannot have fun ever. They're probably kicking back with some brewskis behind the scene, out of the camera view. Okay, Trump. End of discussion. Sit quietly. That's Trump's let's rumble. Oh my goodness. Those are great. All right, next. Bernie. Classic look. He has this look a lot. The angry old man look. He's still got he's got his hair kind of, look at that cut on that hair. That's kind of a weird cut back in the, but that's a classic look for him. The clenched mouth, leaning forward, angry. I want some more of your money. He's pushing really hard. We need the after picture like, oops. He's full on got the eyes narrowed. I mean, they're right there looking down his nose, mouth clenched. He's playing Mario Kart and trying not to slip off the rainbow track. Oh, man. That is a constipated look. There's no doubt about it. And anybody that's ever been that understands. But that's what he looks like when he gives a speech. He just opens his mouth and slobbers and screams and rants and raves. He's made a career out of it. But he needs to fire whoever gave him that haircut. I mean, seriously. The after picture would just be the diarrhea. Oh, man. Someone should photograph his hand up by his forehead in a salute and put the communist flag behind him. Photoshop, yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Bernie, some things never change. Next. This guy's the king of looks. Had him shifty eyes. Look, he almost looks like he's got the sloping forehead, the rosy cheeks. I mean, he's got the little narrow. I mean, it almost looks like a clown face. I mean, if you just look at the nose down and don't look at the eyes yet, just look at that, how disproportional the cheeks and nose and the mouth is. And then you bring in the eyes and the forehead and those ears. He did what to my tent? Oh, man. That's when Schiff hears Cash and Bongino knocking. It's like, they're here. Oh, man. There's the dude looks like he's walking in the middle of walking through a new neighborhood, let everyone know as per court orders. He's registered on a certain list. Everybody stay back. I have to tell everyone why I'm here, who I am, and the danger I propose or I pose in your neighborhood. Is that a playground over there? Oh, that's sick, man. We're not laughing at those things, but that's from the demented mind of Steve in Ohio. But I get it, dude. That he's shifty, man. He is freak with a capital F. I'm sorry. I usually talk about people, but that dude is like bad. I mean, there's nobody would like that dude. I mean, he has no friends. He can't have any friends. It's hollering, it's Russian. Oh, man. I'm in no good place right now. I'm not behaving. I hear you, man. All right. Next. A twofer. You got Pocahontas and AOC. Classic look for AOC. She gives this look a lot. Look how she's got her teeth. Like, she's got her jaw like out of line with the top of her. I mean, that's a strange look for her mouth. So she's got lips open, teeth out of place, and then Elizabeth Warren's like, "I'm not opening my mouth." Say Dumb and Dumber. Elizabeth Warren looks like the teacher that you didn't like in school. She's the one that, if she was a teacher, she got a lot of pins in the chair. And AOC would have been the fun teacher. Crazy, you didn't learn nothing anyway. But she just had chaos going on. But she has a wild look. I mean, her whole face is like, wow. I mean, she's got the wrinkles going across the forehead. Look at the eyebrows, dude. I mean, massive eyebrows raised up really high. A lot of skin there between that and the eyelids. full on. I mean, look, can you imagine getting that look? You pull somebody over, you're the officer, and that looks at you from the, is there a problem, officer? And they look like that. Is that, I mean, wow. Look how big those pupils are. And then it's like her ears are resting lower, flared nostrils, and then, full on with that mouth. I mean, wow. There's a lot in that. Man. And Elizabeth Warren has got that look like, yeah, I'm not, I've, yeah, I stole the money. You'll never catch me. I know where Biden put it all. I cracked the code. I know the combination safe. Jill just thinks they've got money. I talked to Biden when he was out on the beach. He signed his power of attorney and all of the banking accounts over to me. That's what that looks like to me. Oh man. I think we got one or two more here. Maybe one more with two pictures on them. So we went Democrat. Let's see here. Well, no, we got two more because there's Al Green. That's a little bit older picture, about 7 years ago. He got a little curl going on there. Got a little longer hair. He's got that. He's always got that stern look. Always. Yeah, I've never seen this guy smile. I mean, maybe he does, but he always looks like he's just angry. I mean, angry. Look at that look. He's had a long career in a lot of different ways, but he this is the representative with a stick that's been censured now and was kicked out of the speech, and he's being ridiculed pretty hard right now on both sides of the aisle. But that look, that's the look like you just you don't want to turn your back on somebody. I mean, look at them narrow eyes. Got the he's got the eyebrows all squeezed in there in the middle. There's things in this picture I'm just not going to comment on, but Al Green. I think I got one more. It's a double picture, I think, of let's see here. Yes. Vance and Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has that look like, don't mess with me or make my day. I can't tell if he's 70s hood calling me a sucker or a cartel boss calling me. Let's go back. And then Mr. Sherbert says, I can't figure out the general in either of these people. You know what? It's funny you say that because when I did the screen grabs, there was a little bit thought in my mind. General Jackson, General Vance has got the little gray going on the top part of his sideburns there, but he has that. He's got a funny look on his face. That's an empty look. I mean, it's just, huh? You mean there's a test today? What? I didn't study. And with her, that look, it's full on like there's fixing to be a throwdown here. I mean, like, or it could be, I don't understand what they're saying, so I'm just going to look tough. Oh, it's fun. It's fun. Let's see. Okay, Marjorie is the one that, with that look of satisfaction from earlier, she looks like she's finally using the after holding it in for 3 hours. Okay. The comments just make it funnier for me because then I can start seeing some of that in the picture. But Steve, don't fail me, man. Vance here. What does that look? Michael says Vance sat during the speech, eyeing the crowd, keeping an eye on everyone. Okay, he's people watching. He's wondering which one of them is gonna be his enemy. That's gonna knife him in the back on the Republican side. Okay, which one of you? Which one of you's the one? You know, because he probably leaned over and he probably told the speaker. He said, "I know you've got some haters out there. There's a few of them out there hate me too. I just don't know which one all of them are." Mike says, "Just hang around for a couple more weeks. You'll find out." Vance looks like a Joe cartoon character. That's what's a deep. Not everyone will get that reference. Oh man. Oh. I mean, he could be in that picture. He could be a lot of different things. Like he could be the vice principal. He could be the he could be the business owner that he just he just seen the IRS walk through the front door and said, "We're here to do an audit." He motioned to Johnson to throw out Green. I did get a little bit of that, dude. When you say that, I was thinking a little bit along those lines of the hair. It did. It was funny because his hair looks 14, his eyes look 35, and his lips somehow look. It's an odd look for him. He and this is not current. I mean, I don't know how old this is, but he looks a little different now. But I've never seen that one before, and I thought it was pretty comical. Oh man, Marjorie could also be that she just found out that they found out about her affair with that dude, that wrestler dude that was like, I don't know, he lives out in the wild or something. It's like, oh crap, they just found out about that. I'm trying to be clean here because I'm a clean guy. But between these two, just these two, who's got the bigger, meaning cojones? You know, you reckon Vance or you going MTG? Oh, she's never. If Marjorie's face isn't satisfaction, she just heard ALC say something stupid and she's thinking, really? I have been able to go twice or three times and hear Marjorie speak locally, and she does a good job. It's a it's a pep rally, but it's usually an older crowd that comes out. There are a few 30ish, but most of the crowd is 50s up that come to those, which that's probably same everywhere for most of them. Young people ain't gonna turn out on I don't know, some night where they could be playing Fortnite and go listen to the politicians, um, but they do a pretty good job with their town halls, whatever she calls it. I think it's town hall, but that's pretty good. But I thought she'd get a kick out of that. Oh man, I didn't want to do too many because I didn't feel like I was going to use the whole time. So and I didn't know what I might get into. So I just did. I said that's enough. So and it's about right. We're getting near the end of the program. But thanks for playing along. That was MTG is It's Brian Glenn. Oh, she's gonna get on to me. You know, she represents me in the district, so all in good fun. All in good fun. We'll probably never get her on the show now because we've had some fun, but not that she would have ever came on anyway. But we tried. When we didn't get told absolutely not. Just well, go to this site, put it in, and we'll see. Oh, but it was. It's always fun to look at that stuff. We're gonna have to next Friday we have special guests at least for 1 hour. The counselors are going to come in and we're going to talk about uh, let's see, grief and anxiety. And so they're gonna come on next Friday night with us. But on Wednesday, I'd like to do the wrestling show. But I'm not telling Rob. I'm not telling Rob unless he listen. Unless he's listening to this, I'm just going to surprise him, do the wrestling show. Jake's going to come up, and we're going to talk wrestling. But one night I want to do, and maybe we'll do it on Mama Said Monday. I want to do a fashion show and take a different look at some of the fashionistas of the politicians. Some are pretty good, some are not, and so we'll try to find we'll find a few examples for that because that would be pretty cool too. Hillary was never fashionable, never. Wow, and she's gotten worse over the years. Jill is not that bad, but her choices are flowers or she's gotten a little better going to solids lately. But there for a while, she looked like a massive sunflower or something walking around. She was always going with the flowers. Michelle Obama was really big on odd assortment of belts that they didn't look right the way she would do them. And people get mad at that, but it's true. Her fashion choices were not good most of the time. Um, you know, Laura Bush, she looked like the librarian. She always had the librarian look. Um, yeah, man. Hey, we'll be going in a minute. Thanks for stopping by and playing, man. And you take care, Steve, and have a great weekend. Take care, brother. Appreciate you being here. Uh, but yeah, there's and in among the guys too, even though they're usually wearing suits, there's times when they're out on the golf course, and even with the suits, there's a different look for a bunch of them. Toot, toodaloo. I love it. We need to get Steve to wear a kilt. He could be that wrestler that wears the kilt. I could see that with the Smithy hammer. That'd be a cool look. Half Pine Forge wrestler, sponsored by Half Pine Forge. Got the kilt on, got leather strapped around his elbows or something, got the hammer. Yeah, that'd be a cool look. We appreciate all of you being on Instagram. Y'all been quiet, but I appreciate you being here, and I have been paying attention. Thanks for joining tonight, and those, if there's anybody else besides Steve and Rumble, I didn't. I do have it pulled up, but I have two channels, and I don't know which one. I don't see the one on the one, but we're doing a lot of channels, so most of them come through StreamYard, but some don't. So if you're out there on Kick, I haven't seen any because I didn't get that pulled up. Twitch will come through on the StreamYard. So I feel Steve's pain when he's talking about how these streams don't link up together sometimes on certain things. Some they do, some they don't. So it's why right now I have 4 screens open to different, well, actually 5, because I put the TV on one, and I didn't put the iPad on one because I was thinking about looking up some stuff, which I didn't do. And sometimes I use my phone. So sometimes, you'll have 6, 7 streams opened up, just looking at different things seeing how they're going. YouTube has been really solid tonight, and Rumble's looked good, and appreciate that. We are going out to, I think, 10 streams tonight. So I believe, which is, that's the most we've ever done. I think actually, it might be 11. Actually, it is 11. It's 11 streams, I believe, we're doing tonight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just see, 10, 11. It is 11. 11 streams. I think that's the max that we, for right now, that we could do. There's one other one. If I could figure out another way, I might be able to link it through another one. We might do 12. That would be the max. I don't think we could exist beyond that with what we're currently doing, but it'd probably push the envelope of what we're doing anyway. But it does get us out there quite a bit, and that's pretty cool. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. I hope not to get sick. I hope to have a great weekend. Um, got some things I've got to get done this weekend too, but we'll be streaming a lot. In the morning, I don't know if I'm going to be on any more tonight. Maybe. It's possible, but I don't know. If I decide to do a late night show, that may not happen. It may be Sunday night. But I am going to be on in the morning at 10 for Southern Fried MAGA. So I'll be on at 10 for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And of course, Sunday we'll get back to our normal programming. I was sick. Man, I was sick. I didn't get on Sunday at all. And then, of course, back into the week. So we do have, I do have one special program coming up that I want to do, find a spot for it. That's one that I don't do all the time. And we may squeeze one more program in. There's one other one I want to probably get in. If you're out there, be looking for it. I'll try to get our schedule up. Most of it's set in stone, but there's a couple of shows that bounce a little bit. We haven't had our racing show last couple of weeks. I was sick. He was sick. We're getting back together on Thursday, I think it is, and we got a lot to catch up. We were talking today by text. We got a lot to talk about. So if you're a NASCAR fan, 6 p.m. on Thursday, which is really packed because we got cornbread. Cornbread is a labor-intensive show. We love it, but it's a lot of work to get ready, believe it or not. You may not believe that, but it is. There's just a lot of little things we have to get done. But we enjoy it. We'll try to get a head start on that. I was just sick this week. And I'm glad Dog Tag checked in. Hopefully he can come back and join with us Monday. Back out on the trail. And after he rests up for the weekend, or if not, maybe by Wednesday. So Monday night, Fashionista night. We'll talk about those things, hopefully. We'll have Mama expert in the crowd, and she can help us. Then Wednesday, we're going to sneak in that wrestling show. And then Friday, we've got the counselors for half the show anyway. It may not be the whole show, but it'll be half the show. And they'll be offering up some services that some of it's prepaid. It's been sitting out there. So we'll catch up with Joe and Donna and what's going on in their life, and just talk about it's a lot going on in the world. Grief. I know people going through severe grief, and there's people with anxiety issues bad right now. So, which that's always, I guess, but it seems like it's more right now. I'm seeing so many people stressed out with all this going on in the world, and they're just not sure. Like there's, the news is gloom and doom. The tariffs, the tariff wars. What's Trump done now? I mean, I hope nobody's getting anxiety listening to Trudeau out of Canada. I would hope not. That guy doesn't give me any anxiety. He gives me constipation, if anything. That guy just, I can't stand him. It's like Zelensky. We'll be talking a lot of news in the morning. There's a lot going on, and I think the deal's going to get done between, with the minerals deal and probably who knows if there's going to be a peace deal or not. But there's a lot of information going on right now as they're putting the pedal to the metal, really pressing through on some of these programs and stuff. And the money, and I don't know if you heard some of the comments, from Elon and talking about, Social Security, and if you heard any of his Joe Rogan interviews, pretty interesting. And there's some other things that haven't been talked about as much that I've heard politicians say, and we'll try to cover some of that in the morning. So, but everybody have a great night. We're gonna get out here. We're gonna play the song on the way out. Thank y'all. Successful stream. That's always good. Y'all pray for Steve that he gets his issues straightened out. He had things that he didn't think was going to happen that happened, and that's the way it is. Knights of Rain, it was good to have you. Thank you, Mr. Sherbert. Appreciate that. And y'all enjoy tooling around some other streams if you're going to stay in tonight. y'all take care. We appreciate you so very much. Y'all are a blessing to us. So we're going to play a couple things on the way out. So the stream will not end right away. So, but we may play a couple songs. We're going to roll some commercials, and then we'll be out. All right, we'll see you in the morning, if not before.
Oh, well, it's early in the morning, grab a cup and tune on in. Robert and Dave got that southern charm, let the laughter begin. From the morning funny to Maga Minute, ain't no better way to start your day the southern way, with a little joke and pray. We're just southern folks, talking southern things. Front porch swinging where the church bells rang. From Mama Said to Hum Day News, we keep it real with down-home views. Sunday morning in the Word, get that gospel flow. Prayer time calls, so let's let our troubles go. Come Monday night, Mama Said is bringing the truth. And when it's night talk with Dave, man, you know it's getting loose. We're just southern folks, talking southern things. Stories and sports where the good times hang. From SFP News to I Remember That, we tell it like it is, and that's a fact. Got our veteran of the week, gotta show our pride. Pets of the week, bringing love worldwide. Talking paranormal, digging true crime. Southern fried stories all the dang time. So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand? So pull up a chair, y'all, and stay a while. Ain't nothing like that southern style. From the morning show to the soundstage band, it's SFP Live, won't you give them a hand? Mama said there would be days like this when Dave and Rob start the show. There is bound to be some good times had by those who remember what Mama said. Mama said is the name of the game, and what Mama says is what Mama gets from the SFP studios. Mama is right and always right. We hold our flags high as we march to the tune of her music, because Mama said is the name of the game. On Monday nights, sure we know what to do and what to say, because we love our mamas, and that's the fact, Jack.